Hello everybody and welcome back to Forza Horizon 4 with another car build, rally car build I should say. I'm allowed to say car build. Anyway, the point is we are going to be using the Wheelspin system as you can see here. And, well, I shouldn't say I got lucky with my Wheelspin because you just see them flying through. Like, I had a preloaded set and I used that until I got a car. I got a car, I believe, on the second or third one, if I remember. This was the car, a BMW M5 1995, a brilliant car. One of the best cars for the money, just 25,000 credits if you wanted to buy it brand spanking new. We are not, though, we got it on a Wheelspin. So that is, we are going to build. And we aren't going to drivetrain swap it yet. We're going to try and use the stock engine. It is a good engine, don't get me wrong. Now, as much as I want to use the DTM kit, because DTM is awesome. Not DTM. It might be DTM. Is it DTM? I don't remember. As much as I want to use this touring car kit, I'm not going to, probably because that rear looks hideous, and it adds weight. But I will put these on, because they're drag reducing. Yeah. It's going to look real funny with side skirts and nothing else. We're going to put some rally tires on it. 285s on the front, that's pretty good. And 305s on the rear. Okay. Not too shabby. It's quite a heavy vehicle, though. We'll deal with you later. We're going to put the diff on, though. Diff on. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to put the differential on. And, of course, we're going to put you... And you, no, not you, not drift. That would be bad. That would be interesting, but that would be bad. In a way, we're building the modern day M5. That's really interesting. We are going to get down to 3,200 pounds. It's still a very heavy car, though. Still very heavy. We're just going to max the engine out in hopes that we can get the power. The PI, we might be able to. We're up to 400 horsepower. Before any major upgrade, there's 500 horsepower near enough. Maybe with the turbo, maybe, I'm not sure. We might have to go for an engine swap. So that is the maxed out stock engine, 855, not terrible from the car. Twin turbo, single turbo. Don't have an option for twin turbo. Shove you on. Oh, it's gonna be close, but no cigar. 886. That is gonna need an engine. And our options are a 4-liter V8. Oh. Is that the modern day M5 engine? That might be. It might be the modern day M5 engine. I didn't know that was an engine swap. That's very interesting. 6.2 liter V8. 5-liter. Oh. These are all. That's a Lamborghini engine, I think, from Audi. Yeah. That is the M5 V10. That is, I think, the AMG V8. And that is the BMW, the new BMW V8. I think from the M3 maybe, or the M5, I don't remember. We're going to go with the V10, because V10 goodness is brilliant. I didn't know these engine swaps were a thing. I didn't know that at all. Can I get this engine? I'm not going to get this engine maxed out. So we're going to go turbocharging this thing. We're going to get a lot of power. Oh dear, we're going to get a lot of power. It's going to be really fast. Oh my. Okay. We're up to the 8. I don't like the fact that it isn't adding PI anymore. Not as much as it was. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm quite scared of that, actually. Because that usually means the car is quite difficult to drive. Can't throw you on. Can't throw you on. Oh, there we go. 832 horsepower. 600 foot-pounds of torque. It is a heavy vehicle, though, at 3,200 pounds. But it is a German-engineered BMW. It also costs $100,000. Jesus. So maybe it'll actually be pretty good around here. Who knows? The M Division 1995 M5 is going to have to be a 143 by the Mazda. Now, when it comes to straight line speed, this will eviscerate everything on our table. It can go 233 miles an hour. But, will it translate to performance on the rally stage? Now, BMW does have a history of rallying, but it was mainly privateers in lower tier rallies. They never actually competed officially in a manufacturer series. I think they did a little bit in Group B on, like, they started testing with the 1M for road rally and the Group S series, but it was never a full-on factory effort, and it never made an official WRC debut. It's a very slidey car, very slidey. Cut the tree, not quite. Oh, it's very fast. Oh, it's very fast. Okay, it's ridiculous. That was 130. Outbrake myself a tad. Brakes are not as good as the other vehicle. Noted. Also, it's quite slidey. And, oh yeah, it goes like a rocket ship. So, can I keep this under control? That's a four-wheel drift. That's not really ideal. Flip it with the back end. I mean, it's not the worst I've ever had to deal with. That still goes to the Can-Am Maverick, which is considerably far down the table in last place with a 53. But, yeah, I mean, this is brutal. That's terrifying. It's just ridiculously powerful and does not have the brakes to stop this 1.5-ton behemoth going around these corners. It just doesn't have the brakes. But I will say, if you can stop it, it is pretty good around the corners if you can keep it under control. Oh, that was terrifying. And, I mean, for considering I ran wide on half the corners and went to a dead stop at one point, a 149 is not all that bad. Second attempt for the absolutely maniac BMW, which has the potential to be very, very quick around here. I just need to make sure I stop it for the corners in time and actually make the corners properly, which means exercising a bit of caution in this absolutely mental contraption. Yeah, it's a beast. The V10 does not disappoint. I am astounded. I mean, that's 123 down that section. I think, besides maybe the Ascari and the Mustang, which had a similar power figure, and the Ascari is a supercar. That is the fastest speed we've ever gotten up to on there. It is mental. He used the wall a little bit to help us turn. It actually was quite useful. That one wasn't, but carrying decent speeds. They're about average, 83, 84. That was close. And brake at the stone wall. There we go. Actually getting it stopped for the corner and not flying off into the scenery like an idiot. Ooh. Right a little bit wide there. I don't think it will cost us too much time. Maybe a tenth at most. Don't get wheel spin. Don't get wheel spin. There we go. Now, yes, it is all-wheel drive, but it still gets wheel spin just because the sheer power going through these rally tires is quite immense. Might have to brake a little early there. Turn in a little too early. Got a little out of shape there, but I kept it clean. This section is terrifying because you kind of have to commit, and if you don't commit perfect, you go into that wall. Like the Morgan, I think the Morgan crashed on that wall, and then your run is well and truly over, and you might as well just do some drifting because you're done for. This was a pretty clean run, and it actually wasn't that fast. 145. I mean, it is 4 seconds faster than the first run, but it's not as nearly as good. It's still 2 seconds off of that Mazda. Final attempt for the M5. We need to shave off 2 seconds to get anywhere close to that Mazda. I don't think it has the handling. I think it is just too much power and too heavy of a vehicle to actually have some proper handling. You see, the RXL is a bit of a Goldilocks, like, perfect area where it has a lot of power, like 730, 740 horsepower, but it's a sports car, so it can handle that power. It can turn, it can do all sorts of things that what you need on a very technical mixed surface rally. And I've already screwed this run over, I think, because I need to push hard, but that's very difficult in this vehicle because it has so much acceleration and so little handling in regards to the competition that if you go a tiny bit wrong, you screw up. Big time. Come on, get a better exit. There you go. They got some time. They got some time. No, don't run wide. Don't run wide. Alright. There you go. Better run through there. Don't run wide. Use a little bit of slide. Ran wide anyway. Don't get any understeer. Try not to. But when in doubt, use oversteer to counter that. I mean, this is brutal acceleration. Absolutely brutal. 0 to 60 in less than 2.5 seconds, which is pretty good even for my cars. And yeah, the speed is just insane. I just wish it had the handling. No, stop. Ooh, this is not a very good run, but then again, looks can be deceiving. Oh, yeah, it's a terrible run. Terrible run. Boot it. Just floor it and hope. This has gone all sorts of wrong, I think. All sorts of wrong. 110 miles an hour down that straightaway is the fastest we've ever seen by a considerable margin. Actually, this one might almost be faster. It was faster! What? It was only 0.2 of a second. But somehow that scruffy, long run, hitting walls and cutting and going through hedges and everything, somehow that was 0.2 of a second faster. Also, it set a speed record for the fastest time going through the river at 110 miles an hour. That thing is absolutely mental. That will be enough to put the M5, well, in the 8th place around there. It's 0.2 of a second slower than the Aston Martin DB10, but it is a full second faster than the Morgan. So I mean, it's kind of there. It just doesn't have the pace, doesn't have the mixture of handling and performance and acceleration that we need for this track. You see, it's all about grip. That's the challenge with this track. How can your vehicle manage tarmac grip and dirt grip in a near perfect 50-50 rally stage? Because this is a very technical tarmac section and a very technical rally section. And this thing, it has the power, but it does not have the grip. It cannot take corners as fast as the Mazda or the Fiesta or anything like that. And it's just not quite as good, unfortunately. But it did set a speed record, and that will be it for this episode of Forza Horizon 4. I'll be back with more.